Ronnie Douglas, Dean Smith, Colin Holton, Wayne Bartram, Andrew Tyne, Richard Dixon, Paul Davis. Bank Cup final and won with his old school of Blacktown, and he's also refereed a semi-final, his second one here tonight. There'll be plenty of nerves out there for this semi-final as Jason Taylor gets us underway for St Gregory's. To the cheers of the school from Campbelltown, who've had some 10 busloads of schoolboys come out to the ground, as Bartram brings it away from Melville. Tyne just hitting it up into the fence. The ground in great condition after all the rain in Sydney. Dixon downfield. The kick, which is lost in flight there by Wire for just a second. Brought away by Minto. Bounced backwards in some of the defence. Great hit from Dixon. Big front rower really put his man to ground. Quinn. Now some strong running coming from Brent Smith as they take it into the Melville half.
The only problem that Melville could have tonight, Graham, is sustaining the effort. I think they played very well on their last occasion here. That was the quarter-final against Bateman's Bay. They like to move the ball around, but they're playing a very well-disciplined side tonight in St Greg's that won't make many mistakes. Melville are just going to have to keep persisting if they're going to get the money here.
Now it's Coleman. Can't make it out of his 22. He's lost the ball. It'll scrum down.
And that's the sort of things we were talking about. St Greg's won't make many of those mistakes. Melville have got to try to follow suit.
The feed will be for Gavin Bell, as Peter Filmer gives both packs their instructions. Against the head, great strike by Bartram. Now Parsons lost it behind him, snapped up by Daly. Anxious moments for them early. Trying to duck under tackles was Colin Holton. Now Parsons, Tyne. Much better play from Melville. Davis wants it. Straight away he's going to kick. Straight down the field to the waiting arms, I was going to say, for Wire. Just knocks it back. Runs to the outside of the defence. Great run from Wire. Still going down towards the quarter line. Into touch on the first tackle. That's a mistake, but he nearly turned it right round.
Great return there from Russell Wire. He fielded a kick. He had some defence in front of him, but he was able to skirt it and make good yardage down that touchline.
Very big fullback.
Yeah, the kick that was put in by Paul Davis wasn't a particularly good one, and he is the key man at 5'8" there for Melville. He's the man that's got all of the credentials. He's played Australian schoolboys. He's got good control in his game. He's the man that's going to have to turn it on for them.
Well, you saw the little knock on there from Parsons, and that is Locke Daly tried to kick it back to him. He was offside, a good decision. Taylor to look for touch. Member of West Jersey flag, Jason Taylor. The restart through McEntee. They're just 6 metres away, St Greg's, looking for the first try of the first semi-final of 89. They charge up the middle. Brent Smith dragged down. McEntee, a dummy half. Dummies one way, dives over for the try. He sucked them all in with a perfect dummy, and the school celebrates with them.
A very good, well-planned move here. We could see the cross runner. He was always going to be the decoy. McEntee stepped off the left foot and just pushed in behind the defence. Have a look at it here. Decoy runner, sucked the defender, pushed in behind. Parsons in cover defence wasn't strong enough.
Full of running, back to halfway for their positions. And the try scorer in the semi-final is Barry McEntee, the hooker. And as I said, 10 busloads from St Gregory's of Campbelltown, talking about the power. They've started it off brilliantly. So this try was scored about 10 or 12 metres to the side of the post. Taylor round the corner, no problem for the 5'8", and St Greg's flying off in this semi-final. They take the lead by 6 points to 0. Davis, deep kickoff. Right down for Taylor to hand it off. Jim Smith brings it back. The skipper to his feet. John Minto.
Now this is the sort of pressure that Melville are going to have to withstand. St Greg's, again, not making mistakes. Just hitting the ball up, pushing passes to players in better positions. And this Melville defence is starting to be found wanting.
Great play. The pass going astray right at the death there for Grosvenor. But showing signs there of really gapping them. Parsons for Dixon.
I thought even in the game against Bateman's Bay, Graham, that Melville showed they were very good with the ball, but in defence sometimes they got a little bit lazy. Now you can get away with that on occasions where the opposition isn't as talented as you are, but that won't be the case here tonight, and as I speak, Melville come up with another mistake.
Well, simple mistakes. Just not maintaining possession in the tackles. Good solid defence. Now they come up with it again, St Greg's. Taylor stolen nearly by Davis. 6 more tackles as it comes back into the awaiting arms of Jim Smith. That's all too easy.
Yeah, you can see that defensive line isn't going up as a unit and meeting St Greg's at the advantage line. They're going up in 1s and 2s, and that's when you miss tackles.
Well, again, it nearly opened up there for Grosvenor. Just closed in time. Taylor, long cut-out pass for the winger, taken well. He won't be able to keep balance and stay in field. Taken brilliantly by Matthew Frickel. Just watch him tiptoe down the line.
Yes, he took the ball well. He just didn't have enough space to work in. He had to reach up. That put him off balance, and it was only inches in it, but that was enough.
Great hands there from Frickel. Parsons. Davis shows the ball one way. The biggest schoolboy 5'8" I think I've ever seen.
And one of the most talented.
Dixon. That's the man. You can play him anywhere in the forwards. And again, there's a mistake in the play of the ball.
Well, before the game, if we could have put our finger on one thing that was going to be a problem for Melville, it would have been making mistakes against a side that won't, and those thoughts are now starting to come to fruition. They're just going to have to get their game in order.
Wire down the blind side, he's through, he's got support. I think it's gone forward. Knock on, says Peter Filmer. Certainly a hint of that ball travelling forward in the pass.
Yeah, there's the pass over the top, no doubt about it. Peter Filmer was right on the spot and blew the whistle on it.
A penalty that certainly is much needed by Melville to take all this pressure off. Well, Mrs. Dixon, no, Mrs. Parsons it is, we've been told. She's back again. Nice to see her trying to get this Melville high side started. You tell them, Mrs. Parsons. Kick from Dixon, just short of halfway. Now it's to her boy Parsons. He unloads it. Straight out of dummy half goes Bartram.
It's just hard to get schoolboys to realise the importance of those sorts of runs out of dummy half. As referee Phil McCatchis and Greg's inside the 5. But Graham, you find that schoolboys seem to have this fetish about wanting them to move the ball from sideline to sideline and no one goes forward. Now that's okay against poor sides, but against good sides you've got to continue to make that advantage line before you spread the ball.
Dixon again with the kick for touch. So their first opportunity to answer that try by McEntee. Dixon, look for him inside the quarter. Also Parsons and Davis. He can really play the little halfback. He's only tiny, but he's very quick and a great step. On the run around, shows the ball, gives it to Dixon. Good run from the front rower, unloads to Daly, just a couple of metres away. Here come Melville. Parsons, Davis, stands his man.
Yeah, this is where Paul Davis comes into his own. Keep our eye on him.
Now Bartram again. He's trying to make it a double for the hookers. He's only inches away. Parsons a dummy half. Davis, long pass out. They had the numbers out wide, but the ball's gone astray. A near thing.
The idea was right. The ball was pushed wide to the left-hand side by Paul Davis, and as Graham said, Melville certainly have the numbers, but the pass didn't quite find its mark.
So Melville warming up to the task of the semi-final in the Commonwealth Bank Cup. The ball comes back for Bell. Now Taylor lifting their rate. Melville. Solid defence over the top from Douglas. Now some Greg's working it away. Just 3 tackles. They've come out 32 away from their line. Quinn stepping his way. They're going to be forced to kick. Back for Russell Wire. Plenty of time. Drives it well. Splitting the winger and Parsons. Dean Smith. Another little man nearly darting through. Dummy from Bartram. He's already showed his liking to run from the dummy half position. Colin Holt. Driven sideways. Tyne, I should say Smith and McEntee. Dixon. He's going to be a handful. Parsons. Davis. This time he hooks the kick away from Wire. Can't allow him. Well, it's a knock on. Very casual attempt from Wire as it bounced awkwardly for him. He just stuck the one hand out.
I can't understand this. Russell Wire had all the time in the world here. He was under no pressure. Admittedly, the ball took a little bit of a hop away from him, but he had time to adjust to that, and he just didn't. That was too casual.
So maybe a few nerves coming from the team that could be considered favourites.
They certainly might rue it if they score in this set of 6, Melville.
Davis. That scrum was fed by Nathan Barker with Parsons out in the centre 3/4 position. And Bartram again. What can they set for? Parsons. That's Heath Munn. Parsons again. Watch for the step. Away he goes. Ankle tapped. 8 metres out. Back inside for Munn. 5 metres away. Parsons. Davis. Kicked it in the end goal. 6 more. 1 hand out. They've dropped it. That's 2 opportunities they've let go. That was a try. All ends up. And they couldn't handle the final pass again.
It was going to be a try for your life. The one-handed pass by Davis, and it just couldn't be held right on the try line. St Greg's cleaned it up, but the scrum 5 metres out will result.
6-0 St Greg's lead. Melville could have had 2 tries. A real semi-final of the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Against the feet again by Bartram. Davis, long one out. Troy Smith hangs onto it well under pressure. 11 metres from the line. Surely this pressure is going to lead to a try. It's going to lead to a penalty right in front of the post instead. They wouldn't get off him.
We've seen some schools over the last couple of weeks elect in these situations not to kick for goal, but to take the tap. But I must say I'm pleased to see players taking the 2 points when they're on offer. There's Richard Dixon, the young man from Kempsey.
So Dixon, that will be about 13 metres out, but right in front of the post. There's his angle. So right in front for Dixon. They don't come any easier. He says thank you. They grab their first points on the board confidently. 6-2 St Gregory's over Melville. The quick kick-off from Jason Taylor. Back to their mark to try and catch Melville on their heels. Douglas tries to trap it with his feet. Very tall back rower, lost it backwards. He recovered the ball well. Bartram, another of his little jaunts from dummy half. Parsons and Davis, Dixon in fact, kicking down to Russell Wire. Brings the ball back powerfully once more.
Yeah, Wire likes to run down the edges of the field. He starts towards the centre and then moves back towards the sideline, and very often a big fullback such as he can find himself one-on-one with a smaller winger and make yardage, so he knows how to use the football field.
So maybe Melville settling down as their coach Phil Sutherland looks on. Jim Smith standing wide. They go open to Taylor. He steps beautifully. He's going to have support. Stolen! Out of nowhere, Davis. It was desperate stuff, and he came up with the intercept. Bartram again. Cracking pace for the semi-final. That's Andrew Tyne taking it to the other side of halfway. Parsons. Douglas. Maybe they are building a little in confidence, Bill.
I think they went into this game as underdogs and they were aware of that, but the fact that I think they've got out of jail a couple of times against St Greg's here, and fortune's favoured them, and if it continues to do that, their stocks are going to continue to increase.
Well, they're going to have to improve their kicking game.
Kicking game and their defence. There's no doubt they're good with the ball.
Well, talk about defence. Johnny Minto right down the touch, but it's again on the first tackle. No one wants to stay away from there. They're going to be happy to get the ball back, Melville, from the scrum.
It was a great break, this one by Minto, a good winger's break, but that's when he had to sit down. A good winger's got to realise when to take defence on and when not to. You've got to treat that sideline as if it's a precipice and not go over it.
Well, it was a great tackle from this man too, Holton, to put him over touch. Bartram certainly are giving him plenty of scope. Parsons. Troy Smith. Daly away for Parsons once more. Just have a look at him when he takes off. Daly's in a dummy half. He goes out of there. On the last tackle, they keep it alive. Bartram shows his talents with a little chip and chase down for Taylor. They try and drag him back into the in goal, but he'll stay in the field of play.
It's been a bit too easy for St Greg's in the opening 20 minutes of this game to make yardage out of this area, exactly where they are now. They've been able to get up towards halfway and put a kick in. Now, let's see what they can do this time. That's the third tackle, and again they've got over the corner.
Russell Wire, what a valuable asset he is at fullback. He's milked it for a penalty against Troy Smith and Davis.
Yes, as I was talking, Graham, it's just been too easy for St Greg's to make Meadridge out of that off their own try line. Melville have been good enough to get the ball down there, but once they forfeit possession, they can't keep St Greg's there.
As Taylor finds touch, the 5'8", just get the feeling that Melville have got to be the next scorers. They can't afford to let them put two tries together. Down to the 22, Storm St Greg's. Bell, run around it goes. Where's the support? They're just going to kill play right in midfield. Switch of play. Again they switch play. Taylor, he decides to say go.
But ominously then on that switch of play, Melville still hadn't come up in defence either side.
The dummy, Grosvenor's through, turns it back on the inside for try number 2. Brent Smith's got it. They finally cracked. And again it's right next to the post.
Melville found wanting here. The ball was pushed to the left-hand side. It was Michael Grosvenor that found a little incision just inside the Melville defence. Good backing up there by the number 10, Brent Smith, and he crashed across.
You could call this an SG ball try. Grosvenor, who plays with Canterbury in the ball squad, back on the inside for Smith. He plays for West in the SG ball. Great combination from the two men, and Brent Smith with the 4-pointer. So it's been a hooker and a front rower. They're just starting to find their seats again. Plenty of singing and support from their school. Taylor, round the corner he comes. He adds the extras. Looking solid in the first semi-final of the Commonwealth Bank Cups, and Gregory's 12, Melville High 2. Peter Mulholland certainly knows his way around Commonwealth Bank Cup football time. Been a great coach with St Greg's. Happy man with that start. But as we said, Melville had two great opportunities. They've missed out on both of them. Now they desperately need to score. As Bill Anderson said, they haven't been able in defence to put any pressure on St Greg's in their own half. Grosvenor dragged that one in one-handed and then found Thrakel. The forwards doing it well. Smith again. Brent Smith out towards halfway. He's going to ask Troy Smith to come over for a yarn. He came over the top with an arm. A warning to his skipper, Ronnie Douglas, and the centre. You'll see him come down late. There it is there. Bit of a forearm and an elbow. The warning from Peter Filmer. Well, there's been a bit of a wave. We've just missed a wave up in the grandstand from the St Greg's school. There'll be plenty more before the semi-final's over. On the run around. Good defence, good powerful defence from Dixon on Joe Matthews.
Yes, but Dixon can't be won out. That's got to be a full team effort. The whole line's got to be coming up with that sort of...
Taylor out to Jim Smith, out to Mindo, flying for the corner. He's got the try. That was a perfectly executed move, and they've leapt out of their seats once again in just a matter of minutes. Perfectly executed.
This is something that would have been practiced many times at training. The loop around there, the pass back to the 5'8" Taylor. Now he got it on there to the number 13, Jim Smith, the captain running wide. Finally on to John Minto. Didn't have much room to work with, but he had all the space he required.
Have a look at all the dummy runners here. They're going to come into sight. The long ball out. The winger, Dean Smith, was standing too deep inside his quarter. Wasn't flat in defence. There was nothing Parsons could do all about it. And John Minto went into touch. We criticised him for that. He saw the corner and found his mark brilliantly. So the backs get into the action. And Taylor will try and keep the roll going to make it 100%, 3 out of 3. What's happened, they say, we had a couple of chances down the other end. Now we're in real trouble in the semi-final. There's his angle from way out on touch. Taylor's going to try and make him pay some more. It's coming round. What a goal! 3 out of 3. They love it. Why shouldn't they? They've raced to an 18-2 lead over Melville. We told you about the wave. They're having a good time. They're trying to wave goodbye to Melville, in fact. Maybe Davis can turn something around with this kick. They certainly need a bounce at the ball. Handling has let them down badly. Determined looking pack from St Greg's. They need a penalty or another specialty from Bartram against the feed. They're not going to get either. Wire. Certainly powerful runner, gets his knees up nice and high. Good running again.
St Greg's having no problems.
Jim Smith.
Yeah, no problems whatsoever getting over the advantage line. And once you continue to do that, you've got the defence always on the back pedal. When the defence is on the back pedal, you have no problems pushing the ball wide and finding holes.
5 minutes away from half-time. St Gregory's smelling another cup final appearance in the Commonwealth Bank Cup. One of the most successful sides. Oh, a real mistake by Dean Smith. But Peter Filmer's got St Gregory's for being well and truly offside. There's the culprit. Try scorer, in fact. It's Sanderson. Dixon, a little bit nonplussed, Melville. It's all happening too quickly. He's one man that certainly has tried in this first half. He's screaming at his teammates. Davis for Parsons. Munn. A try before the break would give them some sort of a chance. Douglas. Now, can Parsons or Davis do the trick? The little fella says, yes, I can. I've got support. And again, the handling letting them down. He was nearly all the way through. Jim Smith, very talented representative schoolboy in cricket and rugby league. Matthews. Shaped the pass inside Quinn, went alone. What a first half for St Greg's. Taylor kept his cool. Well, I think he's got somebody for a trip. I think it's Dixon. Just watch here as Taylor steps. Was there a trip involved? There certainly was. Dixon certainly stuck his leg right out. He's caused himself an injury. He'd be lucky if there's not some fairly strong action taken by the referee. It called for a stretcher for Dixon. Replacement warming up for Melville is Jeff Ball. Parsons showing her concern for one of their key men, Richard Dixon. They're trying to tell us all about the way they've performed in 79, 80, 84, 86. They've already got 89 written in. Who's to disagree after this? Well, the siren's going to go at the end of this great first half. They still haven't been able to get Richard Dixon from the field. St Gregory's, as I said, they can smell the cup final only a fortnight away. They lead by 18 points to 2. Outstanding performance from St Greg so far. And there's Jeff Ball in 15 for Melville, who's on for Richard Dixon. As Peter Filmer just checks both sides. Last chance for Melville to stay alive if they can come back at all. Ball bouncing away and fumbled. And then taken over touch was Joe Matthews, so he really made a mess of it.
That's something that Melville have done well so far tonight. In the first 30 minutes, they kicked off on a few occasions, and when they did have St Greg's under some pressure. They found the sideline once, and on other occasions, they forced errors from the fullback, Russell Wire. So, you know, Melville obviously have put a little bit of work into their restarts.
Is it going to be an early try for Melville to try and give them some hope? Parsons out for Davis. Showed the ball. Jim Smith broke very quick from the scrum. Now Colin Holt ducking right into a tackle. Little man showing a bit of strength though to stand. Parsons, time. And they give their supporters something to cheer about. Bartram, great tackle. Superb defense. Parsons, Davis. Again he shows the ball. One-hander out the back. Scooped up nicely by little Stanley Parsons. 7 metres away. Davis charges at the line. He's got there. He saw there was a gap. And he darted for it. Mrs. Parsons got the cheer squad singing again. They haven't had much joy. Now they have.
There's no doubt about Paul Davis. He's a player who, when he decides to press the button, he can do it all. Here he realised St Gregory's defence was at 6s and 7s. The thoughts going through his mind were, I'll take them on. I think I can get there. And this young man, when he decides to go, can do it.
Big Paul Davis has got them started at last. They had some opportunities early in the first half. He's looked after himself as a goal kicker by scoring just to the side of the post. 2 steps back. Makes a complete meal of it. But maybe some chance at 18-6 of climbing back into the semi-final. Taylor back to halfway. Not just one try, Bill, they need another one just as quick.
It was a pretty important goal, that one, for their confidence. I think if they'd have got to 18-8, they'd have recognised they were in touch. 18-6, they're still 2 converted tries away, but we'll see what happens. It's important for them, Graham, that if they're going to make a move, it's got to be now.
Well, Davis put his foot on the accelerator. Now so does Jeff Ball. Parsons.
I think Parsons would be better served if he stood a little bit flatter. When he decides to go, he's so deep back from the attacking line, they've got time to adjust to him.
Now Douglas, the ball comes flying out of the back. Davis getting more involved. A little kick on the outside for his winger. Taylor did well to read it. Wasn't tackled. I thought he was. So did Peter Filmer. A couple of early chances here going the way of Melville.
Melville looking to like a team that's been stung into action at half-time. They've come out with all guns blazing. They haven't got time to muck around, only 30 minutes each way, but they're certainly making their move.
Parsons. Heathman. They plant themselves midfield. They can go either side of the ruck here for Parsons or Davis. They stay with a little halfback. Jeff Ball, the replacement for Dixon, to his feet. Bartram.
It's a good player, Bartram. Every time he moves out of dummy half, he puts pressure on.
Somebody down for Melville. Douglas charges onto a pass.
Melville can do without another injury. They've already lost Richard Dixon, but they're in good attacking position.
Bartram, is he going to steal? And he has. Oh, this semi-final is alive.
Well, this was all too easy. Bartram showing that he's a player that can make good yardage out of dummy half, but the defence just opened up there. That was almost a gift. He had a bit of work to do, but St Greg's have gone to sleep a little bit in this game, Graham.
Gone to sleep. It's an understatement, Billy, as Bartram, just as I said, steals his way. He's having a fine game. Paul Davis has sacked himself. 2 tries in 4 minutes. So we've got another change. Brad Graham is going to come on in 16. Ronnie Douglas, the skipper, has taken over as Davis has sacked himself. Again, an easy-looking kick. 2 very valuable points. Have a look at this semi-final, the first of the Commonwealth Bank Cup of 89, 18-12. And worried coach Phil Sutherland may be happier now as Melville High bounces back. Ben Holton has gone on in 2, actually.
Graham, it's probably worth us mentioning at this stage that in the 1988 University Shield competition, Melville defeated James Cook in the final, and they were behind by a similar score to this at half-time and fought their way back to ultimately win it. So they are a team that can come from behind.
There's Ben Holton. I just wonder if they can believe in themselves in defence.
Well, it's important for St Greg's too that they strike back straight away. They can't allow the grass to grow underneath their feet and let this game go any further. They've got to strike while the iron's hot, and that's now.
8 metres away. Bill Anderson says now. Taylor says let's have it. Out they go for Grosvenor. Sanderson leaves it alone. Still struggling is Minto. A little bit of indecision there. Taylor. Good ball for Wire. An ankle tap. He kept the ball alive. Basketball fashion, up goes Troy Smith. Barker. Now Wire was through. A miraculous pass from him. Smith got up high. Took a great mark. Being asked for a big effort, Melville, and they're putting it on. As we see another player down for Melville. They've done it tough with some injuries. Davis, Daly, nearly gave himself away to the referee, feeling he was offside. He had a look at Peter Filmer. Davis again, he's everywhere. Parsons, look at the extra men they've got here. Maybe the kick infield, he thought about it. Ben Holden thought about the kick. In fact, Filmer's got them for a forward pass back upfield.
Well, all of a sudden, this game's come to life. It looked dead and buried at half-time. St Greg's, for all money, were going to go into the Commonwealth Bank Cup final, but Melville had other ideas. They've been stung into action at half-time, and they are producing the goods.
Melville giving them supporters some real hope now. Troy Smith again. A lot more enthusiasm in defence. Sanderson. A little bit bustled, St Gregory's. They were certainly happy with themselves at half-time. Now they hit it up through Tierney. Taylor had a great game. Gets the kick to bounce the right way, away from Dean Smith. He's taken by Minto. And also Sanderson. And Colin Holton. He's going nowhere. Daly. Bartram. What a match for him. Oh, he's lost the ball. This is the sort of situation that allowed a couple of tries for St Greg's in the first half, losing the ball inside their own half. Now Taylor, the Jim Smith, the skipper, shows the ball one way. Great pass back on the inside for Bell. Ridden to the ground by Big Davis. Taylor. First pass off the ruck a lot now. Wire. Always seems to beat the first one or two tacklers.
He likes it down the edges of the field, doesn't he? And I like to see a fullback that can work there. It opens a lot of extra doors for them.
Taylor, some great stepping to get through. Wire will just run over the top of Parsons. Put that down to Jason Taylor. Kept his cool. Some great footwork to tread his way through.
Just when it looked like Melville were making all of the running, Jason Taylor produces a brilliant individual effort. He goes off the left foot twice there to beat two defenders, and then he shows that he's got it all. He goes off the right foot to beat another one, popped a pass up to Russell Wire. Parsons was defending too close to his own line, and Wire was able to crash across. Fantastic footwork, but under pressure, St Greg's have found themselves in the second half, and the 5'8" kept his cool beautifully in a tough situation, and great support from the fullback. Russell Wire, a try when they needed it most. They were quiet for a few minutes in the second half. For 10 minutes, in fact, they were worried. He's laid the try on. He's kicked 3 from 3. What more do you want? Can we come back again, they keep saying to themselves. Taylor, that's the touch line, just a couple of metres away. Let's travel with this kick. Bending it around, it's not going to come round quite enough. 3 from 4 for Taylor, but he got him the try. 22-12, St Gregory's. Davis with the kickoff. Kickoff that's given St Greg's some trouble during the night. Matthews this time, no problem. Good strong run straight into ball. Bell. Melville know that they can bust them. It's a matter of also keeping St Greg quiet too. It's not just a game of attack.
Taylor. Down away. Parsons. Good tackle from Sanderson. Dean Smith. Daly. He really keeps going too, Daly. Parsons. Little man, a wrestling match with McEntee. Bartram. Davis. Ball out to Colin Holton. Lost the headgear. Davis sights there's a chance out wide again. Troy Smith.
He's a good player when he decides to go. Paul Davis, he just pushed out of dummy half there, sucked in a defender and then fired a perfect pass into a hole.
There he is, Davis. He's got 17 minutes to keep on going. They've given them a scare in this second half. Brent Smith. Matthews again. Quinn. Nice step off his right foot from Quinn. Taylor. Once more the 5'8" sends them away. Russell Wire. Will he go all the way? He's got Sanderson. Brilliantly read again by Taylor. Wire joined in once more. He probably could have got another, but Sanderson did it so well. Copybook stuff from St Gregory's.
A fullback that comes from an unmarked position and puts himself into a hole is always difficult to spot because you just can't quite mark him up in the defensive line. Now, this young man, Russell Wire, knows when and where to run. He injected himself into the line there. A lot of purpose in that run. It was a forceful thrust. He then timed a pass beautifully onto the number 3. That's Craig Sanderson in the headgear, and he did the rest.
Just watch the pass from Taylor. But importantly, Russell Wire had run to the gap outside his man Davis. Great ball out to Sanderson. And they know that the final awaits them. But they, as I said, they got a scare that's brought them into action. Sanderson, the try scorer in 3. So Taylor, from a lot easier position, just powers it through. Scoreline that doesn't really tell at all at 28-12 to St Gregory's. A couple of Poms looking on, Steve Hampson and Andy Gregory. They'll let us in on the joke maybe later. Taylor for Jim Smith. Well, this might have snuffed it right out. Dragged in beautifully by Grosvenor. He'll get it back again. Play on. Bell had a man outside. Crunched when he came running back on the inside by Graham Ball. He's out there in 11 as a replacement. Taylor, Quinn, Matthews. They're into overdrive, St Gregory's. Melville have stolen the ball from them. Graham Ball brings it away. Bartram. He's on the losing side, but what a game he's had.
The thing about this St Greg's side is they're such a well-disciplined and a well-organised team. They're such a fit side that you're never comfortable against them because they'll just continue putting attacking raids on you as long as they can get the ball. There's no way they'll falter.
Well, that's the old saying, Bill. You probably only get rated on how well you bounce back, and they were under pressure right from the start of the second half.
They sure were, and they've fought back. They're a gutsy team.
So's this team. They've had players down throughout the night, Melville, but they climbed back into the game twice. It looks as though it's gone now, but they're far from disgraced. Russell Wire. He really is a tough man to stop. He was injured in the tackle. Again, they're going to find the extra man. Sanderson won't get away from Ronnie Douglas, though. A lot of speed shown by the back rower. Taylor thought the pass was forward. Bell. Taylor. He's dictated the game as he's pleased. Grosvenor. Stepping now is Thrickell. And he's stepping all the way through. He's going to get it back on the inside, but only as far as a Melville player. Daly was there probably calling for it. That's Graham Ball in 11, as I said. Listed to start the match, but he's come from the bench. Bartram. Davis. That's what you call certainly making the advantage line easily. Well, he's milked it really cleverly for a penalty. He just placed the ball on the St. Greg's player. Bit of quick thinking from the big man. I knew I'd get the penalty, he said. Dean Smith in 17. Certainly be a fair indication of the second half if they could post another try, Melville. They've lost the ball. Story of their night, maybe. Could have been so much better for them in the first half, Bill. They should have scored on 2 occasions, Melville.
I think they came in a little bit overawed and they never really clicked into gear, and it took them until half-time to break off the shackles and to play their natural game. But they've shown in this second half that they're a very competitive football side. This standard of competition isn't out of their class, not at all.
Matthews. When the effort's been required from the forwards, it's been coming from St. Greg's. The back rowers have certainly run strongly. Ben Holton. Some stepping of his own, but he can't go through. That's Brad Graham, who's just gone on in 16. He's gone on for Colin Holton. Now Douglas. Got a long stride, this man, a very long stride, and a powerful one. Just ankle tap by Taylor, who got across in cover defence. Davis.
Well, Melville haven't given up the ghost yet. They keep the ball alive down that far side of the field. Davis with an inside pass back to Douglas, and now it's Melville's turn to pull something out of the fire.
Parsons wants it. There was a knock-on that brings it all undone.
Knocking on the last tackle there, so that means St. Greg's now giving the ball over on the turnover with the new rules, and it's their turn to work the ball out of their own quarter. I don't know that we'll see anything fancy from St. Greg's in this last 10 minutes. They might be prepared just to lock the ball up, play a safe game and settle for their win.
Ooh, very heavy defence on McEntee. He felt that. Grosvenor out to Sanderson. He's got his winger. Didn't need him. He's going to use him now, though. He's unmarked. Well, he had the opportunity the second time.
Yeah, I thought it was good play by the number 17 there for Melville. Dean Smith, he came from nowhere. He shadowed that winger all the way, and he was going to pounce if the pass was made.
They get the penalty, Melville. Stanley Parsons is doing a little bit tough. He's tried his heart out. Kick for touch. Bartram. Hasn't he tried? Dean Smith. John Woodman's out there in 16 for St. Gregory's. He's replaced Paul Quinn. There he is, eager to get into the action. Get his opportunity now as he comes over the top of Bartram. Parsons and Davis. Little run around. Very close to a Shepherd. Now Davis. Watch for the acceleration once he sights a chance. Just crashing them away. Parsons. Little chip. Brilliantly read. What a match he's had, Taylor. Beat 3 men after regathering that kick. And Minto to his feet. Back for the forwards to do their business. Brent Smith. John Woodman. 8 minutes from time in the semi-final. The first one of the 1989 Commonwealth Bank Cup. Now they come through Bartram once more. Try, Melville. They came out with all guns blazing to the start of the second half. They tested St. Greg's, who answered the call, running themselves into favouritism for the Commonwealth Bank Cup. St. Gregory's, with performances from the fullback role like this man, Wire. Keep your eye on him. Just how do you stop him? It's pretty difficult. Minto. Well, this is a fine run. He's got Melville backpedaling. They've been trying to do that a couple of occasions in the second half. Quite correctly, Andrew Tyne reaching across there and the play of the ball, penalised. Mark Hogan out there in 15 for St. Greg's. He took the place of Brent Smith. Just await a ball for the restart for McEntee. They set themselves, St. Greg's, for a move. Dummying runners everywhere. McEntee for Gavin Bell. Nearly through. McEntee. He's already picked up one. Easy as you please. The little hooker's got a double. He can tell his schoolmates all about it tomorrow.
This was the icing on the cake. All of the lead-up work had been done. Melville's defence shot to pieces. McEntee read that and just pushed over from dummy half. He didn't have a lot of opposition there to beat. He realised there was a hole and just speared into it.
He can smell a try out from only a couple of metres away, Barry McEntee. He's got two. They've enjoyed it all, the semi-final, all their schoolmates. They've given their team great support. The team that has been highlighted by a performance from Jason Taylor. He gives his team 2 more points. And they've laid it down 34-12 in this first semi-final. Minutes to go. Davis once more. Hooking the ball around for Taylor. He's been everywhere. Look at the step. Both feet this man goes off. Nearly took it right back to halfway. His skipper follows him up, Jim Smith. Unloads for Sanderson. Look at the support. Bell. High tackle from Smith. Taken in support by Bushell. Now it's back for Mark Hogan to charge onto that one. Taylor, Grosvenor shows it, dummies, back up the middle. He's injured an ankle.
There wasn't much in that. I wouldn't be surprised if he went down with a cramp or he tore a muscle. He just seemed to step off his right foot to go back inside and his leg gave way.
He's in a bit of trouble, Grosvenor. Now, back for Taylor. The kick towards the in goal, taken by Ben Holden. Inside the last 5 minutes. What a great first semi-final it's been in the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Great supporters, not just rugby league, but all sport right throughout Australia. We thank them again. What a final it's going to be with a team like St. Greg's in there already. Douglas. Davis loses it. Knock-ons both way. Well, I've tried, he says. Just hasn't worked out. Grosvenor's still down. comes over to check Michael Grosvenor. We've already had Richard Dixon taken off on a stretcher. No one likes to see that happen. Of course, Dixon was probably guilty of a illegality of tripping. No one likes to see that either. Again, it doesn't look good here. St. John's Ambulance working overtime in this semi-final. No time off for injuries in the Commonwealth Bank Cup. Peter Filmer's checking on Grosvenor, but he's going to lead the field via the stretcher also. Peter Mulholland was out there to check on Grosvenor. He's got to win in the semi-final. He doesn't want to lose players, though. It's inside a minute. We've still got trouble with Grosvenor down injured. It's just about going to see us go right to full time with the injured player. There's nothing Peter Filmer can do about it. He's got to stand around with the players. Melville want to get on with it. But it's another serious injury. They finally get Grosvenor onto a stretcher with under 30 seconds to go in the semi-final. As I said before, the richest night in schoolboy rugby league in the world, the Commonwealth Bank Cup final, now awaits the ovation for Grosvenor from his schoolmates. Only a matter of seconds to go. Forget about the scrum. Peter Filmer's, all he can do is signal time. And an outstanding display from St. Gregory's. As I said, those guys will tell you they're the favourites, they believe, for 1989. Super scoreline for them, 34 points to 12 over a courageous Melville High, who really put it to them in the second half. They answered the call, St. Greg's. And answering the call, of course, in our next semi-final will be Holy Cross, who will take on the Queensland.